This one. Oop. I may have hit that.
That's okay. I must not have screwed up my hair when I cut it the other day. You haven't said anything?
I haven't looked that closely. I will now.
I just got rid of my gray Wolfmans in the back so I could film you.
I'm feeling it. Oh, it looks good. Okay, good. We are running here.
Yes, all right.
Excellent, excellent.
Hi, Karen. Hi, Alexia. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I am going to be using my little microphone here tonight. So if you guys could let me know if you can hear me and see me all right, that would be helpful. Very good. Sabrina, Alexia, Alex, Dahlia, Sonia, Chicken Mama, Christian, Karen, welcome everybody. We're going to give this a second for a few people to tune in before we go ahead and get started. For those of you that are here for the first time, this is my weekly Ask Ivy show where I take your personal questions. So feel free to start posting them in whatever. If there is a loved one that you were hoping to hear from or talk about, living or deceased, include a name. I also communicate with animals, so that counts as well for your pets. All right, I did want to make a couple announcements before we go ahead and get started. So we have coming up this Thursday, the 15th at 8 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube. We have Are You a Psychic, a Medium, or an Empath? You guys have loved this. I've done 2 or 3 of these already. This is an opportunity for you to hear about the different abilities. So I really break down what is psychic ability versus mediumship, this strange thing that comes and goes. What do you think it is? What category does it fall into? So we will talk about what you have. All right. So check that out. We'll see you back here Thursday. We also have the Psychic Mediumship course opening up. Now we start on May 17th, but it is limited seating. And if you want to get in for the early bird registration, that's going to open on April 26th. So go to psychicmediumshipcourse.com to get your foot in the door to get a seat for the Psychic Mediumship course. We have Walk-In Night, our monthly virtual psychic fair going on, showcasing students and graduates of the Ivy League Psychic Academy. So from the comfort of your own home, wherever you are in the world, you can get a reading, a healing, 2 readings, 2 healings for $15. Okay, so that's going to be this month on the 24th. Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
That seems early. All right, well, we do it the last weekend of the month. Which does seem early. But so that's going to be the 24th of this month. It starts at 8 p.m. and that also sells out. Okay, so tickets are on sale, ivyleaguepsychicacademy.com. If you guys need to book a reading with me, you can go to ivyrivera.psychicmedium.com. Fun stuff. All right. We have a couple questions coming in here.
Yeah, did you do memberships, donations?
Nope, not yet.
All right.
Okay. All right, everybody. So if you are so inclined to leave a donation, and I saw that some of you already did, thank you so much. It is greatly appreciated. You could do that here. If you want to become a member for behind the scenes extras, direct spirit messages to you, your monthly horoscope, extra curriculum, you can hit the join button for the membership tiers and information there. We good to go then?
Yeah.
Very good. So welcome everyone. I'm Ivy Rivera. I'm a psychic medium, a Taino Arawak, and I own a school called the Ivy League Psychic Academy where I train people internationally, online, in everything, ranging from psychic mediumship development to tarot, astrology, numerology, children as well as adults, Reiki, paranormal, you name it, we do it. So we hope to see you at classes. Okay, this is my weekly Ask Ivy show where I take your questions. You can post them in the comments below. Paul, my adorable producer, will be taking them as he sees fit. He does ask that you include names of anyone that you're referring to. It speeds up the process so I can get on to your neighbor faster. How are you, Paul?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. If I could just bother you guys here also to hit that like button on this video. Thank you so much. Let's get going. What do we have?
Okay, we have one from Rowan.
Rowan?
Yep.
So when I'm going over here with the hamster's energy, I feel very excited, and I see piles of what would appear to be sunflower seeds and like corn or something, almost like you taking a pile and dropping it in the cage in the bowl. And I feel that in a combination with being petted were the 2 times that he felt the most loved and loved you. Yes. Very exciting.
This one is from David.
Okay.
Is Farren being honest with me about cheating? I feel he isn't telling me everything, and if so, will he ever come clean?
Well, I can't, for legal reasons, or I could get sued. I can't accuse someone of cheating on someone else. It's also unethical to do. But I can validate for you your trust issues. I do feel that it could be very difficult for you to trust Farren, and I feel that it would be best for you to protect your energy. I also feel that this relationship is incredibly toxic, and there's not a lot of good here to work with. So if you were looking for a long-term bond with someone that could function in the day-to-day and be healthy for both of you, and also encourage growth and development, this one isn't the one, So I don't think that you hearing any kind of confession out of him is something that will ever happen or that you should be waiting on. I think it's time to do you and focus on your well-being.
Okay, this one is from Crystal. It says, I was wondering if I should pursue art as a career.
Should Crystal pursue art as a career? I almost feel that for you, moving into your future, you may find that it's very difficult not to. And it's like is being part of your life contract. You could book a life contract reading with me at any time. We can look at the whole thing. I don't see it being in the forefront though. And so that's where things get a little complicated. Okay, so you're supposed to pursue it, yet it's not going to be the biggest thing that you do. It's not going to be your like bread and butter per se. Now, how do you do this? And, again, I mean, we could look at that at a later time, but I don't feel that it's something you should cut out. I absolutely think you're supposed to pursue it. I think that you also need to be realistic about how you pursue it. And I think that technically this is really falling into your free will over the course of the next 3 to 4 years. And what that means is that sometimes in life we have a destiny charted path where everything is set out for us. It's very obvious what we're supposed to be doing, exactly how we're supposed to do it. We may not understand how we're supposed to do it, but then the step in front of you lights up or just the right people show up and it becomes, in a second, really, really clear what step you should take next. And it's like, yes, I'm feeling it. I'm in the flow. Well, that's a sign that all of that is destiny charted. It's assigned to you already. This is not going to be that. This is going to be 3 to 4 years of you being in a free will zone, which is going to feel more confusing. It's really up to you what you do with it. It could feel like you don't have a net or like you're free falling. You're going to have to go with your gut, and you're going to have to pay attention to what you passionately feel drawn to do. I feel that you have some really important stories to tell through art. And so that's part of your journey, is becoming a wise leader and someone who is free to express oneself, encouraging others to also do the same and to think. And that's not something you're going to be able to abandon. So yes, but change the way you think about it.
We have one from Sonia.
Sonia, okay.
Says, I have a lot of guilt and unattended trauma, and I wonder if that's why I can't feel or see my dad, Baudelio, but my family does. Or does he not come to me because I used to be scared?
Well, it's all of that. I mean, you basically answered your own question. First of all, spirits that have crossed over into the light, and he has, are having to abide by what I call the law of the light. The law of the light does not allow for them to come and visit you if it's going to traumatize you, make you afraid. They are only allowed to make connections for healing purposes. That's the law of the light. Otherwise, he'd be an earthbound and he'd be toxic. And that's just not the way that you have been responsive. You have not been able to accept his visitations. And so he has pulled away. But I also feel that he continues to work with you and he continues to try. And I feel that he does that also through other family members. So he may be sort of getting through them in the same way he's going through me right now to get to you. So it's not like he left. He just has to make sure that you're receptive. So one of the things that you're going to want to do is to pay attention also to your dreams. One of the things that you have going on is something I call subconscious dreaming, where you process old residual trauma, guilt, unfinished business through your dreams. And if you keep a dream journal and you start to really come to terms with those things, it will make it easier for him to communicate, and it will make it easier for you to accept his visitations. So yes, you have to get that trauma out of the way. I wouldn't even be surprised if because of some of it, you stopped dreaming for a certain period of time and you didn't stop dreaming, but you weren't able to remember your dreams. So I do have a class up on my website called Dreams where I help you remove those blocks. You may want to check it out. But he loves you very much. And he's very much around. He just can't keep doing it in that same way. And you can't keep rejecting it in that same way. Communication is a two-way street. So it's time to learn the language and it's time to move on. Yeah.
Okay, this one is from Delilah. Should I start my own business or keep with my MLM, which is multi-level marketing?
Okay, so Delilah, should you start your own business or stay with multi-level marketing? I feel that the next 3 months for you are going to reveal some things and help you to understand that if this is something you're serious about doing, how exactly you should take those steps to be prosperous. I also feel you getting tested. Like you may reach a point where you decide, okay, this is what I want to do. I'm going to go for it. And as soon as you reach that point where you're ready to take a first major step out in blind faith, you start to be persuaded by the universe, let's say, to maybe go for additional training or education or take a more traditional route to work in a more common field, out in society. And I think while that may not necessarily be a wrong decision, I do think it's really important that you understand that you do have a knack for business and that getting into business, self-employment, sales, all of this will always be a part of your life contract. And so I think the sooner, this is just my opinion, you may choose to go for that extra training or education. You may choose to go a more traditional route, and that's fine too for you. But my feeling here is that if you start getting into business and self-employment, you're going to find that many other doors open, and you could find yourself a few years down the road multitasking with several different things that are all pretty profitable for you. Real estate is also a pretty good idea for you. Passive income. So keep your options open. But staying at this multi-level marketing beyond 3 months from now, I'm not feeling that much anymore. No.
We have one from Desi.
Okay.
I'm wondering if my grandfather, William, is still watching over me. He passed in April 2019.
Yeah, he very much is. He keeps leaving you quarters. Now, we used to call these pennies from heaven, but it doesn't have to be pennies. It could be any kind of dimes, nickels, anything, okay? Anything even that looks like a coin. I see him leaving these for you. I also feel that he's trying to encourage you right now, and you may hear from him the most when you are in a place where you need to make a move to go forward in your life. He shows himself standing behind you and pushing your right knee. And your right knee always has to do with work, money, career, and the right side is also about your power out. That's about you getting out of your own way, you deciding you're not going to hold yourself back. And so he keeps going up behind you, and like he's funny about it, but he keeps like knocking his knee into the back of your knees to get you to step. And so I think that you're going to be hearing more from him, especially in regards to this matter. And so, yeah, that's one area where I feel he watches over you quite carefully. He loves you very much. Don't hold yourself back. Don't cheat yourself. If you know you're deserving of something, if it's something you want to go after, he's like, what is carpe diem, seize the day. Like, what else is there? Okay, what else is there? This is it. We have today. We have today. We have now. Now. Go, 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 go. Stop procrastinating.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is from Adrienne.
Okay.
Says, wondering if she has gifts. She says, I have anxiety and ringing in my ears. My daughter does also. Mm-hmm. I moved into an apartment and we both see and feel spirits. I asked a question prior. Well, it was tied into this. She wants to know if we're both gifted and how.
Okay. Well, what I'm feeling with your daughter, and I'm feeling like 7, 8 years old, we could see a peak around that time. A lot of mediumistic abilities, like she can hear with her ears, she can see with her eyes, all night active. She may have trouble staying in her own room. So we have a class. It's a 2-hour training called Intuitive Kids up on my website that could help you. The other thing that to get her feeling empowered. The other thing that I'm feeling in regards to you is the empathic ability up at the 3rd and the 4th levels. So when we talk about hitting those 2 higher levels, see my empathic awareness training for that, we talk about a couple new things developing. Telepathy and electric person syndrome. The ear ringing, that tinnitus or that pressure can come from an increase in mediumistic abilities if it's the left side, and it can come from an increase in psychic ability if it's the right side. And that is very common when we see someone hitting a 3rd level of empathic ability, because telepathy will activate that ear ringing, getting too close to other people. And even during COVID, when everyone has been quarantined and forced to just use the computer, that, for a lot of people made it even worse. Because we got very casual and we thought, well, it's just the computer. It's not like they're really here. That counts. All of that interaction through technology can also be a major activator. So personal space, learn the cleansing and blocking techniques that I have in that class. And you may want to get the parent to child empathic awareness also for your daughter. It is hereditary. We know that through research. So yeah, absolutely. I think you guys are a great team. I also think that sometimes it can be a little much in the house. It can feed it. And so you do want to do a lot of cleansing and stuff like that too. Keep the area clean, calm, collected, high vibration. Anything that looks paranormal or weird, wonky, clean it on out of there right away. Don't wait. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to take this time to thank David, Alex, Adrienne, Sonia for your donations. It's really generous of you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for the donations, people, very much.
Sonia and Delilah said thank you, and Desi said thank you. My right side is where I have my tattoo for him. Oh, my God, thank you.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Good.
Okay. So we have one here from Bernadette.
Okay.
Did Ken, who is deceased, help me out this past weekend? What details would help me know that?
Well, one of the things I'm feeling with him is almost like I feel like I'm looking at money or I'm looking at resources. I feel him doing this. So it's almost like he's giving you some kind of a heads up, or he says like heads up, but he's giving you what you need. And I felt this the first 4. So he either did this 4 days. It felt to me like he did this like 4 days in a row. Okay. Or it would have affected things 4 times. And he says that what he's looking for with you is just a smile on your face. He wants you to feel rooted and grounded and at peace and secure in where you're going. And I feel like that's what this change in your life is doing for you. It's helping you to understand more of, I want to say, your power, feeling empowered. Yeah. Yeah. He loves you very much.
Well, this one is from David.
Okay.
Said, me and my daughter's mother, Sarah, getting back together. Is there any chance?
Well, I think that it's probably not going to happen, especially if you're waiting for her to do that, to like come and put it back together again. That's not going to happen. What I do see, oddly, at about 2 years out from now is a free will zone coming up for the two of you, where you may be able to find that you can work pretty well together, whether this be, say you have children, or say you have some kind of mutual social scene, whatever it is. It's like a shared collective. there is an opportunity at the 2-year mark out from now for both of you to work well together without any kind of bitterness or resentment. And that would be the first time I see an image of that. And so definitely at this point, a lot of time apart, a lot of growth and development needed. Mm-hmm.
Okay. We have one from Alyssa.
Okay.
Said, I would like to know how Jordan truly feels for me. Will he contact me?
I don't think Jordan's head, I heard Jordan's head is not in this game. And so Jordan's head, mentally, emotionally, physically, he seems to be completely elsewhere. He seems to be very invested in what he's interested in and jumps from one thing to another. So he may be like all about this and then consumed with this task and then consumed with this project and then consumed with, this fun thing and this travel and this person. It's just a little bit all over the place. But at no point do I really see it coming back to where you are. And so he has a lot going on, and he may have a lot happening for him mentally because sometimes he seems a little stagnant physically where he doesn't move a ton. But that doesn't change. Okay, here's a good way to say this. Regardless of what it looks like, you have to understand where his head is, because that's the only thing that really matters. So it doesn't matter whether or not he's out being active or he's dating someone else or he's like involved with things. It only matters that his head and attention is not coming and paying enough energy back over here with you. And so that's all there really is to know about that. I feel like just kind of tuning that out, any desire would also stop kind of pushing him away. So he responds to energy a lot. And I think that you pulling your energy in and distracting yourself with other things, will help you to have more peace of mind about this. Mm-hmm.
All right. We have one from Millie.
Okay.
Do you think I should be going to college, and would it be beneficial for me?
I think that it would. I feel 2 different routes for you. One has to do with travel and a trade. So if you were looking at going like overseas, or you were looking at putting yourself in a new town that is very different from anywhere you've lived, but would allow for you to work with your hands in something more like a trade. And I keep hearing old school. So it almost reminds me of these colonial towns, where we go and we're all so college educated. We're in shock watching these old school towns reenact like making horseshoes and hammering iron and making a sword in a house. And it's like, what? Like, people do this? Yeah, people used to do all kinds of things. And, we desperately need that in a lot of ways. And things are coming back around to that. So I think you have that as an option, like basically relocate and learn a trade that you feel passionate about, or you could go back. And so technically this isn't a free will zone. You could go to school, finish your schooling. I think that if you were to do that, I think it's really important that you're making sure that you're going to use your communication skills and that you're going to feel effective in helping people, and not that you're being hindered and under the boot, because you're about to spend a lot of time, money. Okay. And so just make sure you're going to have that freedom that you want, and you're going to be able to use your passion the way that you want. But I think either one would be fine for you. No. Okay.
All right. This is from Portia. Does my grandmother, Ruby May Mills, have any messages for me?
Portia, does Ruby have any messages for you? She mentions a ring, and I feel that this ring may have been handed down, but she's showing me a friendship ring, the middle finger. And sometimes when we're talking about a friendship, We can be talking about a friendship either being upgraded to something like, an engagement, a marriage, a deeper bond in some way. What I'm feeling is that she's watching over you and your friendships, you and your relationships, you and those that are close in to your heart and your inner tribe, your inner circle. And I feel that one of the things she's trying to do is to make sure that you're really getting what you deserve from other people. You tend to keep to yourself. You tend to pull back. You tend to not, how do I want to say this? She says you don't share. If you don't share, and then if you were to feel lonely or heavy, or like you're not getting back, it is something that requires your effort. And so make sure that you're doing that. If you are finding that you are sharing and openly like asking or inviting someone to support you and they're not, okay, I feel like we got to start cutting some of these people out of here. So yeah, she loves you very much. She also says you're very different. How beautiful you are. You're very different. She puts a red, almost reminds me like a red rose, like a red flower in your hair. Looks kind of like a carnation, or what do they call those roses that open like wide instead of up, American roses maybe? But she puts this red flower in your hair and she's talking about how beautiful you are and she wants you to dance. Okay, dance, celebrate, enjoy your life. Okay.
This is from Meredith. Why am I seeing heavy synchronized numbers and dragonflies landing on me?
Ooh,
yeah.
Well, I would have to look at all the numbers, but let's say this. 5 is major change. 1 is huge opportunity, but not without the hard work, not without the free will. Dragonflies are about growth. They're about prosperity and leveling up, but through an earned position. And it could be very much like you've spent the last few years nose to the grind, working, dotting your I's, crossing your T's, and feeling like you're about to tear your hair out. And then all of a sudden, here come the dragonflies. Here comes the payout. Here comes the blessings that have sort of been stored up for you. And whenever we see a level up like that, the universe interacts in many different ways. It's using people as the mouthpiece for God to remind you. Your dreams get more active. Your intuition increases. We can see Kundalini and awakening. Numbers start following you. Signs. We see soulmates enter. We see people exit that no longer can make that journey with you up to the next level. All kinds of things would be happening at once. Pay attention to everything and journal it. Yeah.
The ever helpful Bernadette says it's called a cabbage rose.
A cabbage rose?
Yes.
I've never heard of that. I love it. They're adorable. Thank you, Bernadette. We should get some.
We should. And cabbage. All right. This one is from Lex.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me why I keep seeing a red cardinal in my backyard. What does it mean?
I feel that your guides are trying to communicate with you. And I'm under the impression that you're supposed to be making some changes in your life right now that are going to help with your spiritual development, with your self-development. I guess we could say with your self-discovery, but I was feeling more with understanding what you came to Earth to do. So I want to say more self-discovery, I guess, in your life contract. Okay, like, why are you here? And I see you doing more with that. And every time you seem to take a step mentally, energetically, literally toward that, they seem to be showing up to remind you that you're supported in that movement. So in a way, too, the cardinals can really be a symbol for power and strength. Red is prosperity. Red is power. Red is strength. It's a reminder that you're not alone in this journey. And when you're going in the right direction, the universe is going to react with you. When you're not, everything's kind of quiet. Yeah. Good. All right.
Yeah, you got, again, some thank yous. Alyssa, Bernadette, Meredith Bernadette says you're amazing. And again, I wanted to thank David, Alex, Adrienne, Sonia, and Alyssa for your donations. That's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for the donations, guys. Don't forget to sign up for psychicmediumshipcourse.com if you want to get your foot in the door to get on the list for class starting May 17th. And are you a psychic, a medium, or an empath? I will see you guys back here for that, where I will be telling you what abilities you have and breaking down the difference between those three. That's going to be this Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Love you guys. Thank you, Polly.
Very welcome.
Thank you, Spirit. We'll see you soon.